Imagine this. You're driving home from the grocery store. It's a route you've taken thousands of times. Suddenly, another car swerves into your lane. You lose control and your vehicle slams headfirst into a tree. It's a bad crash. The airbags bust open, but somehow you survive. You're conscious. You can breathe. You don't feel any major injuries. As your senses heighten, you start to smell smoke. You reach for the door handle. You push the handle button. Nothing happens. You push it again. Still nothing. The power is dead, and the door won't open. Outside, a crowd gathers. Bystanders rush to help you. They try to grab the exterior of the door handles, but they're completely flush against the metal. There's nothing to grab. They try to pull the handles out, but the system won't let that happen. Inside, the smoke thickens. Flames start to grow. And in that moment, you realize something terrifying. You're trapped. Not because the car or the doors are crushed, but because the door handles were designed for beauty and electronic efficiency instead of being designed as a life-saving mechanical weapon. Hi, I'm Scott DeStasio from DeStasio Injury Law, where we handle most any type of personal injury case, whether it involves settlement or trial. For decades, I've fought against massive corporations that prioritize their bottom line over human lives. And today, we're talking about one of the most controversial automotive decisions of the last decade: Tesla's electric door handle and emergency release system. This one scares me because I actually own a Tesla. There's a lot of things I love about it, but not the door handles. To me, it's a perfect example of a company led by a visionary thinker that's so committed to minimalist design that the entire company becomes completely blind to the safety of its consumers. To understand how we got here, we have to go back to the drawing board. When automakers design a car, the number one rule of human-machine interface is redundancy. If the power steering goes out, you can still turn the wheel with your own strength. If the power brakes fail, you can still stop the car by pressing hard on the brake pedal. Traditional automakers have always built physical, fail-safe redundancies into door locks and latches because they know that violent crashes and total power loss are the foreseeable reality of driving. But during the development of the mass-market Tesla Model 3 around 2015 and 16, CEO Elon Musk pushed aggressively for a minimalist vision for the future of all cars. He drew inspiration from the consumer electronics industry, specifically Apple. He wanted a car that felt like an iPhone: sleek, clean surfaces, hidden mechanisms, and no physical buttons. During design meetings, Musk famously pushed a philosophy.
The best part is no part.
He believed that having to manually interact with a machine was a failure of software.
And really, like, the way to look at this is view all input as error. If the user had to do input, it does something. All input is error.
The company embraced the philosophy that software should replace as many physical interactions as possible. And visually, it worked. The cars look futuristic, elegant, almost seamless. Now, in a vacuum, that's a great concept. And you can't fault Musk for wanting a beautiful, efficient car. But a car isn't a smartphone. If your smartphone battery dies, you miss a text message. If your car battery dies after a massive collision, you may not get out alive. Because of this obsession with minimalism, Tesla engineered the doors on the Model 3, the Model Y, and eventually the Cybertruck to rely entirely on electronic microswitches. When you pull the handle on the outside, you press the button on the inside. You aren't pulling a mechanical cable. You're just sending a digital signal to the car's 12-volt battery to release a motorized latch. But what happens when the 12-volt battery is destroyed in a crash? What happens when a severe impact causes a lithium-ion battery fire, which triggers total electrical failure? The system goes completely dead. The electronic buttons become useless pieces of plastic, and the flush exterior handles stay glued to the side of the car, giving the responders absolutely nothing to grab onto to save you. Tesla would tell you that they put manual overrides in the car, and they did, but they're very hard to find, and most consumers have no idea they're even there. At least in the front seats, it's possible with some detailed inspection to find them. But in an emergency, when you don't know where to look, it's very unlikely you'll find the release in time. And the back seats, forget about it. The manual release is pretty much hidden. To open the back door of a Model 3 or Model Y without power, a panicked passenger in the dark, upside down, or in a smoke-filled cabin has to reach to the bottom of the door pocket, remove a rubber mat, pry up an unmarked plastic cover, and find a hidden cable and pull it firmly to the center of the car. In a Cybertruck, it's a hidden pull wire behind a rubber flap in the lower compartment. It's been described by attorneys as trying to solve a Rubik's Cube after being in a violent crash. And the tragic reality is that in real-life emergency situations, ordinary people can't solve the puzzle. Over the last decade, there's been at least 15 documented events where motorists or rescuers claim they were unable to open the doors of a crashed, burning Tesla, and people died. Consider Omar Awan. He was a highly educated doctor, the kind of person that would be best suited to solving puzzles. In February of 2019, he was driving his leased Model S in Florida when he crashed into a tree. The family claims the autopsy showed he survived the initial impact with no broken bones or internal injuries. But the car lost power and it caught fire. A police officer arrived almost immediately, but the flush door handles had lost power and refused to extend. The officer and bystanders had to watch helplessly as Dr. Awan died from smoke inhalation, trapped in what his family's lawsuit called a death trap. Or consider the horrific crash in Verona, Wisconsin just recently. A single vehicle crash resulted in a battery fire. A 911 caller reported hearing the occupants, including parents Jeffrey and Michelle Bauer, screaming inside the burning Tesla for more than 5 minutes. 5 people died. The lawsuit filed by the children alleges that the electronic door handles entirely prevented them from escaping because the hidden manual releases were practically impossible to find. And then there's the Cybertruck. In August of 2024, Michael Sheehan crashed his Cybertruck in Texas. The battery went into thermal runaway, the power failed, and the doors became inoperable. The family alleges he couldn't find the hidden manual release under the rubber flaps, and he perished in the fire. Is this the human cost of a corporate culture that refuses to compromise its aesthetic vision for basic human safety? I can tell you this. When billions are at stake, corporations rarely change their behavior simply because it's the moral thing to do. They change when it hurts their bottom line. For years, it appeared that Tesla ignored these entrapment issues. As new vehicles came to market, they doubled down and continued with the same overall design. They also aggressively defended these cases against grieving families. But the civil justice system can be the great equalizer. Wrongful death lawsuits began pouring in. The family of Dr. Awan sued. The children of the Bauer family sued, and the family of Michael Sheehan sued. And it wasn't just physical injury lawsuits. Class action lawsuits were filed all across the country. In California, lawsuits like Urban v. Tesla and another filed by Robert Hyde alleged that these vehicles were inherently defective and posed an unreasonable safety risk. They were demanding economic damages for consumers who were sold a dangerous product. Basically, they wanted money reimbursement for the defects. These lawsuits did exactly what they were designed to do. They created massive, undeniable financial and public relations pressure. When these cases enter discovery, the truth comes out, and it appears the truth finally helped the government wake up to the issue. In late 2025, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, opened defect petition DP25002 to investigate complaints that the manual releases in Model 3s were hidden and difficult to locate during emergencies. They opened another investigation into the Model Y's SUV because parents reported being locked out of their cars, completely unable to get to their children in the back seats because the 12-volt battery died. And internationally, the pressure has become unbearable as well. China's regulatory bodies announced a mandatory standard requiring more accessible mechanical door operation during emergencies, and the European Union issued a formal warning. Tesla was backed into a corner. The lawsuits brought the facts to light, the facts triggered the government, and the government threatened their global sales. Faced with this insurmountable pressure, it appears Tesla finally blinked. Recently, Tesla's chief designer Franz von Halsenhausen went on a podcast and publicly acknowledged that they're working on a redesign that will address the issue by combining the electric switch and the manual mechanical release into one intuitive button. One of the more outrageous parts of this is that that exact solution has already been installed in other luxury automakers like Porsche. Why it took so much to get Tesla to change is the big issue. Now, I want to be clear, the decision to change this design is admirable. It's the right thing to do. It'll save lives in the future. But did they do it because Elon Musk suddenly had an epiphany about human factors engineering? Or was it because the lawsuits forced the issue? My bet is that if the families of those victims hadn't had the courage to stand up and file those wrongful death lawsuits, if class action attorneys hadn't fought for consumer protection, Tesla would still be putting aesthetic purity over your life. And here's the most tragic part of this entire story. This new redesign, it's only for future cars. It does absolutely nothing for the millions of Teslas that are already on the road today. Why? Because a recall and installation of a redesign would be financially devastating to Tesla. If you own a Model 3, a Model Y, an older Model S, or a Cybertruck sitting in your driveway right now, a software update can't magically install a highly visible, easy-to-use mechanical lever in your backseat. If you own one of these cars, please get out your owner's manual. Find where those hidden release cables are. Practice using them. Teach your children how to use them. Because in a split second, in the dark, with smoke filling the cabin, you'll never have time to figure it out. If you found this video informative, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and please share this with anyone you know who drives a Tesla. You might just save a life.